Hello, Eurovision fans. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. You know the drill by now. It's 27 weeks until the grand final of Eurovision 2024, and I have some news for you. We're going to go all over Europe to see national selection updates, especially some rumors from Festivali and also San Remo. Then we have seen the official rules of Eurovision 2024, and we're going to talk about the confirmations and non-confirmations for Eurovision 2024, and I'm going to start with that. We've seen some positive news from Australia and Romania, and we are also going to talk about Armenia and some other countries. Here you can see the current standings of confirmations. Sorry for forgetting Czechia in my last video. They have, of course, confirmed participation, and so we are currently at 35 countries. There had been some doubts about Israel possibly withdrawing due to current events. However, they have said that their national final will take place. It has been postponed twice, but I see it as a confirmation of their participation next year, basically. Let's talk about Australia, because there have been some very positive news from down under. SBS has said that they will indeed broadcast Eurovision, but they're still in discussions about participation. They told TV Tonight in Australia, Eurovision is a cherished part of the SBS family. Our intention is to remain in the competition, and we are currently in discussions. We will confirm details as soon as we are able. Now, if you've watched this channel in the past, you know that I think that the EBU has a very big interest in keeping Australia in the competition because they pay a big participation fee, which lowers the cost for everyone else, and they don't want to lose any more countries. And then now we have confirmation from SBS, which was somewhat of an open question whether they would have the funds and also the wish to participate in the competition. So now you might ask, so why does it take so long? Why are they still in discussions? I thought about this, and I think it might be about the participation fee. It's not very transparent how the EBU comes up with the different participation fees for different countries. We know that Germany pays the most and probably San Marino pays the least. So it depends on the size of the country, the population, but also the strength of the economy and also the size of the national broadcaster. It seems we don't really know, but this might be the point where SBS and the EBU are still discussing, because SBS, of course, is not an actual EBU member as such, and they're not a national broadcaster in the sense that TVE is the Spanish national broadcaster, the BBC is the British national broadcaster. They have a host of programs in different languages. They're mostly geared towards the immigrant community in Australia. And so paying a participation fee that equals Australia's size and population, they're between Ukraine and Romania when it comes to population, and also the economic strength of Australia, that might be a bit too much for SBS in the end. And that is what they might still be discussing possibly. Also because, as I said in my last video, participation fees have gone up this year once again. So SBS might be trying to get a better deal, but I am 95% sure that Australia will be at Eurovision 2024 because both parties have an interest in staying and remaining in the competition, Australia remaining in the competition. Then Romania, this is more of a rumor mill, to be honest. There have been some fan posts about the budget that the national broadcaster TVR has sent to the finance ministry in Romania, getting approval, which would mean that the amount that was set aside for Eurovision participation was approved as well. We haven't heard 100% confirmation about that yet, but at least it's a positive sign that I wanted to share with you. And then for Armenia, again, current events have been very difficult in the country. There's a refugee crisis at the moment, so it would be understandable that Armenia wants to concentrate on other things than a singing competition. However, they have now confirmed their participation in Junior Eurovision, which to me is a positive sign that they want to be at Eurovision. It's also a great platform to share your culture. So I do think that they have an interest in staying, and I hope they will. And then one of my subscribers has shared some information on Bulgaria, actually. Last time I talked about a post that they did on X about an artist announcement coming in November, which was fake news. They posted it by mistake. However, under that, apparently there were some discussions and some fans asked whether in the near future BNT and Bulgaria would return to the competition. And apparently they said that by 2025, it will be very likely that Bulgaria will be back. So we can look forward to Bulgaria being back in 2025, probably not this year, well, next year, 2024. I'm already in the new Eurovision season, so 2024 is kind of this year to me, so forgive me if I make this mistake more often. And then North Macedonia, a lot of you always comment that it is confirmed. I don't see it as 100% confirmed. 99% I would say yes, they are back, but I'm still waiting for 100% confirmation. But I do think that we will get at least 37, maybe a few more countries, so few more than last year. This year, again, I did it again, in Liverpool. I also asked you in the community tab of my channel which country you wanted to return the most. 60% of you said Australia, 18% Armenia, 11% North Macedonia, and 7% Romania. That probably has to do with recent entries by these countries, but thank you for voting in that poll. Now, the official rules for the Eurovision Song Contest 2024 have been announced. There haven't been a lot of surprises there, to be honest. No juries still in the semi-finals, which is a decision that I don't really agree with. I would have liked them to be back for a country like Latvia this year to have a better chance of qualifying, but okay. We're still with no juries in the semi-finals. However, also no auto-tune, which I'm very happy about. But you can pre-record your backing vocals, and the rest of the world is also staying, which I like quite a lot. I think that was a good invention. There were a bit of discussions about this. Jury and televote will be combined by a ratio determined by the EBU, subject to approval by the reference group. People were seeing this and were thinking that maybe there would be a change in the distribution of jury and televote, no longer 50-50, maybe 60-40, as the HOD of Norway, for example, has asked for, has called for. However, this was in the rules just like that last year, and we had a 50-50 split. So that doesn't mean anything yet. And I don't think we will see a new split in the jury televote, to be quite honest. Then, great news from Italy, at least if you're an Il Volo fan. Paolo Giordano, who's a music journalist, has announced and basically confirmed that Il Volo will return to San Remo in 2024. They, of course, came third in Eurovision 2015 with Grande Amore, and they won the televote, so quite important news for Eurovision as well. If they actually managed to win San Remo, they could win Eurovision as well. And they also came third in Sanremo 2019, so it will be quite interesting to see what kind of song they bring this next year. I'm doing it again. Then we have a Silia Kapsis update. She's, of course, representing Cyprus, and she has said in an interview that she's extremely excited about performing on the Eurovision stage. She's also not scared at all, which I was a bit concerned about because she's only 16 years old. She said that her grandparents, who are from Cyprus, her father was born in Cyprus, were extremely excited to hear that she kind of pays homage to her heritage by representing Cyprus. And she has also said that she will focus on vocal exercises and also her dance moves, which suggests that her song will be a big banger, a dance hit, which is not very surprising considering her discography until this very moment, but I'm very happy that she's very excited and her family as well. Then some news from Festivali I Kenges 62, the Albanian national final. Casey Tola, who you see in this picture, was supposed to be one of the participants of the Albanian national final, but that is no longer the case. She has withdrawn, just as Samantha Caravella. They are being replaced by other artists, but some fans were very disappointed because they were really looking forward to Casey Tola's song. There has also been a change. I said last time that the Eurovision entry would be chosen by 50% jury and 50% televote, but now at a press conference they have announced that the Eurovision entry will actually be chosen by 100% televote, just like last year. Next, let's go to the rumor mill, which is always fun, but you have to take it with a pinch of salt because it's not confirmed news yet. Aftonbladet, which usually is a very good source, says that Marcus and Martinus will be back in Melodifestivalen in 2024. They, of course, came second to only Loreen last year, so they would be one of the favorites, I guess, if they return in 2024. And they also won the OGAE Second Chance contest, so lots of fans are very excited about this. Other names getting thrown around are Cassiopeia, who co-wrote Tattoo, Clara Klingenström, and also Lisa Ajax, and then Albina, who we all know represented Albania in 2022. She tried in San Marino last year, or this year, and for next year she will try to participate in Melody Festival, and so she's one of the 2,600 songs apparently. But that doesn't mean that she will actually be part of the shows, of course. And then we have some rumors from San Remo. Some people have said that Mahmood might be back because he has a new album coming out and a European tour in May, which I am attending. And he might use the chance that San Remo is giving him to promote this new project, this new album. However, he hasn't said anything about it, so it's really just a rumor. Then we also have Diodato possibly coming back, who was supposed to represent Italy in 2020. Irama and La Representante di Lista, who have participated in San Remo quite a lot in the past. And then Achille Lauro, who went to Eurovision for San Marino, of course, in 2022. Will be interesting to see which of these actually join Il Volo and compete in San Remo. Then we have some news, this is no longer a rumor, about preparations in Greece, where Marina Satti and her labels are actually discussing how to select a Eurovision song. There have been no official announcements, but they are in the process of finding the right song for her. Then we have some news from Malta. The second semi-final, even though it's technically a quarterfinal, I guess, happened in Malta yesterday. 9 more songs were performed and presented. I have to say I'm a bit disappointed by these songs. There were some very questionable vocal performances, and the songs themselves didn't really, reach me in any way. There's one song called I'm Your Man, which sounded good, but the lyrics seem to be I'm Your Man 1,700 times. And some okay songs, but all in all, it seemed a bit like Malta was back to the not as wonderful selection of songs. Last week, of course, I was quite happy about them, but this week I'm not convinced, unfortunately. Then we have some news about the Dutch selection. Konrad Maas has said that they have received, of course, over 600 songs. 100 of them are in Dutch. The rest are in English. However, there are some with French, Arabic, Turkish, Spanish, and even Italian influences and lyrics. And then we have some big names in the mix. Joost Klein, Numidia, April Darby, and The Jordan. I haven't heard of them, but if you're from the Netherlands, you might know them. And he has said that they have a lot of confidence in finding the right song this year. Quite excited about that. We'll see what they come up with. Then we have some updates from Eesti Laul. Last week I said that they received 1 song in Italian and suggested that Elina Nechayeva might be one of the participants because, of course, she sang a song in Italian last time she participated. But she is part of the jury, which suggests to me that she is not participating. And I'm quite intrigued to know who the Italian language entry will be sung by in Eesti Laul. Then we have some great updates from Loreen. She has won the Best International Artist at Los 40 in Spain. Congratulations to her. She also did an amazing medley performance of Euphoria, Tattoo, and Is It Love? So check that out. Very happy for all the positive things happening to her. And also some positive news from Alessandra, our representative from Norway this year. She has a new song called Heavy. It's a departure stylistically from her Eurovision song, which I like quite a lot. It's a pop ballad about helping a friend in need. She sings, I'll take the weight if you let me when life gets too heavy. I'm really loving this new sound in her voice as well, and this new style for her. I really hope that it works out. And please check out the song because I think it's really, really good. These are all the news I have for you this week. Come back next week, subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss that, and see you then. Bye-bye.